Evening hunt number 5. We've got a big weather change. It's really warm right now, 70 degrees. It's raining right now a little bit. Got off and on rain the rest of the evening, but we've had a strong south wind that's about to switch out of the northwest, bring a long cold front. I'm talking lows in the teens, highs in the 30s. It's gonna be here to stay, but today's the day that it switches. This evening it switches. And that northwest wind, when it switches, that's perfect. It's going to confuse these deer behind us. Might make them come out. Fingers crossed. Let's go. It's about 4 o'clock. It's usually when I start seeing deer move. But the sun sets at 4:51, so it's going to get dark really quick. So I don't imagine we have much more than an hour. Hopefully this rain gets them on their feet. My little indicator, the wind's already switched. It's now out of the northwest, so perfect wind. Oh, the front is officially here. Temperature dropped like 10 degrees like that. And this north wind just started howling. Almost blew me out of my tree. I wasn't ready for it. Now my tree's going rocking around like crazy. My bow's shaking. So, I was right. The front's coming. What's wrong? It doesn't seem to have to do with moving at all. I haven't seen a deer. It's the first time I've seen a deer. I still got 20-30 minutes left, but I've normally seen a lot of deer on their feet by now. I've got 5 cell cameras out and nothing's sending me a picture, so they're not moving right now. But when it gets down to 30 and 20-something degrees tonight, they'll have to move. Pretty crazy weather. All right, so got back the truck. I ended up seeing 3 pretty nice bucks. There was that one, and I'm sure the video was low quality because the lighting was so low due to the storm. And then I saw 2 pretty good ones way down the way in the field. I videoed that one doe that was out there, and then I find this pretty big 10-pointer behind me. I tried rattling at him when he got in the CRP. He never showed back up, so I don't know. But he was definitely looking at another buck that was bedded down with the doe. I could tell by the way he's acting, or at least that's what I think. And then turned back around, and that doe was out in the field, had a pretty good one with her. And then a little bit later, another big one came and took her in the woods, and one of them stayed out in the field. So too far away for me to count points. But I thought that was going to be a dud of a hunt, but it kind of had a little bit of spaz right at the end. It literally is like 40 degrees now, and it was 70 when I made my first video just a few hours ago. Tomorrow morning is going to be 28, 29 degrees. I'm going to get in a wooded draw. Let's see what comes down in there in the morning. Alright, so my truck door is frozen shut. It was 72 degrees yesterday afternoon. And now we got ice everywhere. Wow. What do you think, Brian? Good morning.
Morning.
Brian's hunting with us this morning. Pretty excited about it. But yeah, ice all over the place. You know, I started the truck, but I didn't come out here and turn the defrost on, so it hadn't done much. The truck should be warm. It should be shooting some good heat up there. And it's 5 in the morning. We should be walking in right now, but it's sleeting, snowing, raining, 28 degrees. That's not right. It says I'm in Illinois. But it's 28 degrees here, and it's like 30-mile-an-hour northwest winds. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to be bundled up. Brian's got sweatpants and one set of like camo pants that go over him, and he's like, I'll be fine. So tune in to see how that goes. Brian, sweatpants. These people from Iowa are a different breed, maybe. Sweatpants and thin camo. That, like, over the top. That's it. Sweatpants and those. He does got gloves. That's important. You got a face mask?
Yeah. It's built in with.
He's gonna be so difficult. All right. Well, it's just breaking daylight here. We're down here in the bottom of this draw where we hung this stand yesterday when it was miserably hot. It's 26 degrees now, temperature's dropping. It rained and sleeted and snowed all night. There's ice on everything, real slippery. I haven't seen any deer yet. I jumped 3 deer walking in through the cornfield. I was able to look at them on binoculars, they were does. But it's cold, look at the ice on this stuff. Yeah, so we're all bundled up. We're warm right now, but this 25-mile-an-hour north wind is figuring its way down in this draw, and it's still hitting me pretty good. Let's hang tight and see what we see. So while we're sitting here enjoying this peaceful hunt, don't forget it's like 12 degrees. I dropped Brian off. He's not an avid hunter. He's just getting after it, and he's used to working hard out in the field doing cattle, probably getting hot, sweating even when it's cold outside. He walked about half a mile in the snow, rain, got wet. He didn't even last an hour before he was so cold he had to call somebody and beg them to come to the road. So he walked out. So if you voted yes, Brian's gonna get cold, ding, 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 you are a winner. I bet Brian wears more layers next time he goes out. Just a little buck over here milling around. Maybe he'll come a little closer and get some better video of him. Alright, so that was cold. That was a cold hunt, and all we saw was that one little buck besides what we jumped in. Jumped the does walking in this morning. Did get to the truck and look out there in the cornfield, and there was a lone doe walking around out there heading right to my stand. But man, it was time to get down. Toes were cold, fingers were cold. Went and grabbed some breakfast and go back to the farmhouse here, eat it, look at wind, look at weather, get back out for this evening. It's cold, 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 and these bucks have been locked down. They're gonna break, they're gonna move. Time to be in the woods no matter how cold it is, so we'll get back out there this evening. So I'm back up in the stand. I had no more got up here. I was classifying meat, and I see a monster. It might just be a huge 8-footer, really big horns. Really hard to pass that up when it comes by. Couldn't tell if he was alone, but I rattled at him, and he went really hard. Now he's making his way down this draw. You can't see across the cornfield here. He's got a big fork G2. I probably wouldn't shoot him, but he's walking right over to my buddy Brian. My buddy Brian's got a doe feeding out in front of him, and this buck sees him, sees her, and he's headed over there. So Brian's never killed one with the bow. I think he'll shoot that one if it goes over there, or at least he'll fling an arrow at it. So maybe we'll get to watch that happen here in a minute. Brian's doe just ran. I think it busted him. But the buck saw that as an opportunity, so now the buck's running to Brian. Good look out for him. Brian is literally okay, so that was cool. I totally just got to watch that buck get 10 yards in front of Brian. Brian tried to draw, the buck looked at him, had to draw down, and the buck started walking off. Brian got drew, and it looked like he had a 20-yard shot near quarters where he shot. But the buck bounded off kind of carelessly, so I'm afraid Brian might have missed, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure Brian shot though. Maybe he got him, but I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. All right, guys, I got to take a minute. I'm back home making this video for you, and I have to tell you what happened in this scenario. So Brian, brand new to bow hunting, literally never flung an arrow at a deer, gets buck fever. It's one of my favorite things about whitetail hunting. Gets buck fever, and he has a wrist release. Like a lot of us have a quick wrist release, you know, where you pull the trigger. He has it. The buck's coming in, he's ready to shoot him. It's a beautiful 9-pointer with the fork G2. And instead of clipping on to his D-loop on his cable to draw the bow back with his release, he just grabs the cable, he said. He just grabbed it and drew it back with all 5 fingers, just yanked on it. And he gets back here and he realizes his wrist release is like hitting him in the face. And the buck's looking at him because he looked at him when he drew. And so Brian has to draw down, which is what I got to see, which spooked the deer. And, you know, so Brian was really embarrassed. He's going to be mad at me that I put that in there. But, hey, Brian, we all get buck fever, and that's really one of the most memorable parts of my hunt with you. So, sorry that you're the brunt of this joke, but next time you'll be ready. I bet you clip on the D-loop. This is my 7th evening to hunt, and I'm back up in the same tree I keep seeing big ends in. I just need for him to come out on my bow trail. Oh God, there's one right there. It's not a big one, but there's a buck right here. Snowing a little bit, and just a light dusting. I think it's on my beard. We got a pretty strong northwest wind. It's blowing us right out into this field, which is fine. That's what we want. But he got out there and he was straight downwind, and he smelled us and looked right at us. And he didn't see us, but he smelled us. And so that's almost what we want to have happen. We got a trail right here to my right. It's like 15 yards, 10 yards. They come out of this bedding behind us, hopefully, and come right there. But that wasn't quite ideal. Anyway, they're on their feet looking, that's good. Well, they're definitely on their feet. I'm gonna spin this video around. There's a decent buck about the same size as the one that just winded us. It's down there by Brian on the other, down here on the edge of the field. All right, man, we almost sealed the deal last night. I had that buck and he was out in the cornfield. I thought he was gonna come right in front of me where I had some corn stalks marked at 25 yards. He held up and then he kind of spun around, feeding quartered away from me, which was a really good shot opportunity, but I didn't know his yardage and I was afraid to move because he was so close and the wind had calmed. By the time I decided he wasn't turning back around, I guesstimated his yardage to be about 35 yards and he was quartered away still. And when I went to full draw, he started walking off and he never gave me another opportunity and he walked out of my life. A great big 9-pointer, probably a 160 class 9-pointer. And anyway, I tried everything. I even had a doe come out and I tried can calling and getting him to come back. Once he left the field, I've never seen him again. This morning, it's already breaking light just a little bit at 6:30. New game plan this morning is I'm actually going to still hunt this morning. So I'm going to stay on my feet and creep my way down into a bottom or near a bottom. We got little to no wind, so I'm hoping I can hear the deer, but they'll be able to hear me too. So I don't have a stand down in there where I want to be. And I'm too afraid to get down in there during the middle of the day because I think it's an area they might come in and bed and walk some does down. So I'm gonna creep into there, take me a little bow holder that I can stab in the ground that my dad made, and then I'm just gonna sit on the ground with my bow on this bow holder, and I might move around a little bit, but that's gonna be this morning's hunt. And I footage, but that's what I'm doing. And that's what happened last night. Oh, so close. There's one pretty close. Hunting from the ground is intense. Alright, we're in our still hunting location. This is what we got here. Six yards from this creek bottom. So that's the low point. If they're on this side of it, it's 26 yards. Actually, right here, it's about 20. We've already seen one little buck cruising through here, but he was on the other side of the creek, and that's not our property. We can't shoot there, but so we need him on this side of the creek. Just straight up the deal. So this buck's right here in front of me and Brian, and we were checking him out, and he just decided he's cool with us. So he laid down. We're about to turn down this road, and this deer's got a lot of character. He's not like, he's a big deer. He ain't got a lot of horn, but he's got a lot of character to him. This is what happens in Iowa, I guess, when it gets cold. You can't even drive down the road without seeing deer in the road, next to the road, bedding down. Yep, he was with her. And this is a video on the other side of the finger. So my tree stand is just on the other side of this finger of woods right here. And I'm driving down here because I got a camera on a scrape right here to the right. But this is just one of the many fingers, and there's a lot better view of that green field that I think might be alfalfa with corn behind it and also to the left of it. It's just a bunch of tree lines and stuff to feed down here. I got a camera on a scrape right here. My stand is right on the other side of those trees over there. Stand. We almost got it done the other night in the stand. We had a big 170 class buck coming right to us, and I thought I knew what he was doing. I had some spot ranged out in front of me to my right. He was working to my right, and he got right there and he turned left, and he had a good quarter to way shot, but I wasn't sure of the yardage, and I didn't want to move because he was close, and I thought he'd turn and keep working right, and he didn't. Now, once I decided to try to shoot, I found that he didn't quit walking, so I ranged after the fact. He was 33 yards, quartered away. That hurts. That's a very makeable shot for me, and so hope I get an opportunity on him or something like him, but the bucks are starting to show themselves in daylight hours, at least the last couple of days. Drive the road, there's deer everywhere. At night, they're either they just broke free and they're looking for does again, or another wave of does came in and it's firing. So we got in here extra early today because I didn't like how fast they were on us last time. So let's sit tight and see what happens. That's that same 10-pointer that That's the same 10-pointer I let walk a few days ago. The only deer I've seen in the morning. But I stood up and there was a great big buck on the tip of this draw. And I was about to go for my horns to try to rattle at him because he was going away. And I looked out and that 10-pointer was right there. They're both going the same way. It's surprising they're working with the wind at their back. Doesn't make sense. Unless they know there's a doe over there.
So this is what we're coming out to this morning. The truck's been running a while and it's still snowing and quite a bit of snow on the truck. Wow.
Well, it's a beautiful, cold, snowy morning here in Iowa. I'm nestled in off some cut beans. I've not hunted here yet. Had little buck come walk in, but I can normally see. I thought I could see a lot from here, but the snow is so thick on the tree limbs that it's like having foliage back on. All the tree limbs are like 3 times as thick. I can't see anywhere. But I love hunting in the snow. It's awesome. It's beautiful. Let me show you. So this snow is gonna melt off pretty fast, and when it does, my buck action picks up. If you've stuck with me this far, then you're not gonna wanna miss the final part of this 3-part series, my hunt in Iowa. I get some really close encounters with some big ones. I get to hear a buck roar. I get to see a giant buck walk right in front of me, and I don't get to shoot it. But then at the end, I get to put it all together, and I get to harvest my first Iowa whitetail with my bow.